Hello, Gemini, to your timeless, the love variant reading, where we will cover anything that the love compartment desires to want to talk about, right? This could be about being single, being partnered up, polyamorous, widowed, married, divorced, karmic, divine, whatever wants to be discussed will be discussed, okay? Bear in mind that these messages, Gemini will make sense in regards to providing you universal justice if Gemini is found in your Sun, Rising, and or Jupiter position. However, if you are Gemini in Moon, Mercury, or Venus, and you're primarily here, you might be in search of emotional redemption, where I will ask you to check out my description box below for my sister channel, which will benefit, which I believe you will benefit from if you're here in regards to those positions. Okay. Keep in mind that anything is yours will resonate to you and only to you in any way, shape, or form it is connected to you. Just be that attentive to detail, so that as this reading gets left behind by you, you know which of the reading belongs to you and which is not. To know that I am a master healer, so if you're in search of tarot services or healing services, wherever you are in this earth vibration, time and of the essence plays no role in how I heal. I am a 𝗖𝘀𝗵𝗺 Reiki healer, first of its kind. All right, Gemini. Someone is getting like someone may have recently suffered with like a Charlie horse, or just like nerve spasms. If you have an old injury due to like a pinched nerve, it might be triggered again, or it might show up again. It's also very quiet for you here. It's meaning ether really has. It's not that ether doesn't want to read for you, but it's very quiet. Like you understand a lot of things. You're more like in a space of nothing, where everything is possible and nothing makes sense, but everything also makes sense at the same time. You're operating safely, kindly to yourself at a very safe space of a speed. You might be having a Kundalini awakening fairly soon if you haven't already began that journey. And if it's coming up here and you already think that you've had a Kundalini awakening, I think it's really important to control your narrative, or to begin the narrative of shadow work, okay? That has to be addressed right now for anyone who is or has already started their Kundalini process. Because I think once you understand the niche of what the topic of shadow work entails, it will bring you a lot more relief to what it is that you feel like you don't understand, but you're not questioning it, because to question it means you're starting drama and you are above the narrative of that drama. So especially if that drama is tied to like work or schooling or anything, like you don't need little mugles to tell you about what you already accomplished. So you're above the narrative in that regard. It's old fucking news, right? But what's new news is your quest to take yourself seriously, because that is where you're foreign in your own body. You're newly resurrected into an identity that you can condone and that you can show up for. And showing up for it for yourself means you're showing up for other people. And as you're doing it, as you're showing up for other people, and these people have been in your path before, you're realizing more and more how you are above the narrative, and that no one validates your experiences. It's not validation that offers you to rekindle these sparks with individuals. It's a confirmation of what already is. And I think hearing that message would bring you into a softer compartment of being easier onto yourself, where you are very hard on yourself right now and being perfect. There is no such thing as perfection. You already know that's the mundane legitimacy of hearing those words and the chaos that the world provides. But ultimately, you're not still secretively not very fair yourself on how detail oriented you don't need to be anymore, Gemini. All right, paying attention to detail before were in former chapters of your life where it was do or die if you didn't pay attention to these details. All right, and your life is just not in the same position than it was before. So let go of the hold, let go of needing to control a narrative, especially one that comes to mind right now, and trust that someone else will come and take over. Okay, taking over doesn't mean you're void of the responsibility or someone's going to run you over and not let you glow and shine. This is more like someone on equal caliber is going to press the limits as to what it is that you know and make you excited for knowing what it is that you know, and will become the living proof as to being triggered into what you love to do is the reason why you will only work moving forward, loving what it is that you are providing attention to. It's great. It's great loving energy for self, great loving energy to not accept shit behavior by others. You may dismiss it in overall view, but personally at home, you are integrating yourself with a level of astuteness that I would say that even if you return back to work and those low vibrational individuals you can't really argue with, your focused attention of self-meditation, self-guidedness, self-awareness, self-esteem, self-confidence, whatever, self is the key to naturally loosen your grip to feel guilty, to feel like you have to be better, to always provide, to always do something. Like that's a condition of the former system telling you that you must compensate. You don't have to compensate in anything if the ether is telling you all the time that everything you want is free in life. And the most value of royalty that you will gain are the things that are essentially free in life. Right? So we use all that to kind of understand what relationships we need to build and how we need to put relationships in the brackets that they belong in. Like maybe your relationship with your family belongs in this bracket. In this bracket, you've taught yourself that this is the bracket. Whoever falls in this bracket at this time, you only give attention to detail to when you're the one scheduling an appointment to see each other. It sounds weird because it's with family or whatever, but let's say you're going out for brunch or coffee. Yes, we're going to look at it very systemically right now so that way we can make logic to this mess. And then once we bring logic to this mess, we can then ascertain with the data all the things that we experience from this logic. All right, that's being pragmatic and practical, and I think that will allow you in time know where to put people once you meet them, either new in life, what bracket to put them, because you're not putting them on a lesser or higher value. It's for you to put them in a categorical part in your mind space, because you are always someone who wants to be involved. Whether new, old, or former, you always want to be involved. So categorically, it would make sense to put them in the category, but to stay in control of these categories is to say that when it's time for this category to get attention, you will, of course, compromise to whoever needs your attention for this set category, but you will not budge from any of the rules or regulations that requires for you to be the best optimal version of this category of your relation to these people. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. I gotta keep going. All right, so Gemini. There's a lot of rekindling energy. A lot of you are still in the narrative of like retrograde. What? Mercury retrograde, of course, and full moons, moon energies, portals, time portals, 11:11. I've been there, done there too. You know, I get it. And I have no negative shit to say besides, nothing. I don't have anything negative to say. There are negative things to be said on every single topic, for sure. But as far as you using your resources to make them befit your life and make sense of your life, That's all free material out there. You do whatever you need to do to tailor your own life. As we see here, the tailor, attention to detail and pride. I think for your first time in your life, you're taking this attention to detail. Didn't I say that before? Attention to detail? Or was it somebody else? Oh, that might be somebody else's reading. It's not yours. But I think it's the first time you're taking this very seriously and paying attention to the detail. And as you do, people are getting a different take on how you've always were in their life. Like, you are very fucking loyal, Gemini. I don't care what no one says, but you are one of the most loyal signs. And we are not talking about what loyalty is in a romantic relationship. That's not the loyalty I'm referring to at all, whatsoever. All right? Some of y'all are reckless out there because of that too, but you're always fucking loyal. All right? Make that make sense. All right, the pathless, difficult decisions and lack of direction. For the orator, communication, confidence. I mean, some of you need to have a deck in your hands and really explore the science, the mathematics behind a tarot deck. Even an oracle deck, just play with cards. They themselves have no energy. They don't breathe. They don't pulsate, but they do absorb energy. So wherever you intend on having anything in your life is how much attention you give to these inanimate objects for how much they're going to be void of or contain energy. It's just focused attention, perspective, and also cleaning up the dust bunnies once you realize you haven't cleaned up your mind in a while. Cleaning up your mind also means that you clean up people in your life. You'll naturally feel that eventually 3 months has passed and you haven't seen this individual. And that can start taking place where time goes by and it's so distracting of so many different things that you're doing that eventually like, oh, wait a minute, this person I haven't seen in a while, and this person I haven't heard from a while, or this person I'd like to rekindle because I haven't seen them in a while. Like, there's a lot of in a while conversational acknowledgement happening here. And also getting me exhausted. Whew. You're exhausted, Gemini, for more than once. Yeah, judgment. I mean, you're exhausted, right? You're exhausted for all that it took to just get to where you are. You are in love with the person. If you're with somebody right now, you are in love with this person, okay? You are healthily also in love with this person. Some of you who are not with someone, and you resonated with this message as far as hearing the opposite, having loved a former person very deeply, that person was not ready for you. This person was not destined to carry out their entire life getting to know you. They're not supposed to be that lucky, I'm hearing. That's wild. When they're not supposed to be that lucky. Wow, that's insane. This also makes sense. I mean, why would you, whatever. I can't, I'm not. But yeah, someone is divinely connected, all right? I'm seeing that someone is getting a lot of like ringing in the left side of the ear, especially feel like left, like just cramps, heart cramps, and you want to tell yourself you have a heart attack, but you're not having a heart attack, but you feel different, right? And it comes and goes. And that seems scary, of course, but it's just a world. It's just a world, and I don't want to belittle it and diminish the possibility of something crazy happening to someone. But that's also not the point of to think that anything crazy that happens to something or to someone is meant for overall damnation, right? The ether works in mysterious ways and how peaceful she keeps all this and also causing harm. And that dialogue, naturally, that vibrational force that takes place in just sitting with that truth is where I think you're getting recycled into. You're getting recycled into a rhythm of a groove that won't allow you to digress very easily or drift off of your path really easily. Someone is paying attention to self-healing, self-diagnosis, but not because it's not this unhealthy kind, all right? You're just paying attention to how you are and how your body is reacting, and then you're utilizing resources to build a community of individuals that are not afraid of talking to one another. I see you be very adamant of a role for this too. Like you're pretty good at bringing people together. You're not as good as controlling a mass of people, but you're really good at bringing people together. And that's almost like your secret power without you really realizing how you can bring people together until they all came together and you're like, huh. And somebody asks you, hey, who got all these people here? You'd be forced to be like, it's me. But until that point, I don't even think you realize, oh man, I did all this. And I think the ether wishes you to possess some of that power. Like, oh, I did this. I not only showed up, but I am here. I am above the narrative, but above the narrative, above the narrative. For I see and I feel and I know too much. And I will speak when spoken to, but I'm doing it as respect because I don't want to disrespect other people's or invalidate other people's experiences. I'm very humbled by this reading in more ways than I can admit. Because ether's saying do. Things may not work or look like they're working in your favor, but there are opportunities within the world not working in your favor that has you grounded, that Earth works in the exact way that she needs to work for every living thing on the presence of her or coming from her. Feels not only her love, but her ability to always show up and forgive the negative shit that she does is all things that we find in a natural rhythm if we went back to Mother Nature and refocused our mind towards that and are okay with the word healing being used, because we have nothing to lose with taking the word healing upon ourselves. All right, I'm being told to leave the messages where they are, Gemini. If you, again, like any of my services, from readings to sessions, please don't hesitate. My information will be found in the description box below. I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.